This episode of GameByte is brought to you by our promo code for Jinx.com. Yes, use the promo code quitstalling_366 at checkout to get yourself 10% off of all the gamer swag you can find on Jinx.com. Yes, the promo code quitstalling_366. Use it on Jinx.com and save yourself 10% off of every Diablo Funko Pop you can purchase with your month's salary. Yes, quitstalling_366 saves you $10 out of $100, $100 out of $1,000, and $1,000 out of $10,000. Quitstalling_366 at checkout on Jinx.com. Welcome everyone to GameByte. Yes, GameByte. I'm your host. I am Herald Silvestre, and you know what? I'm feeling pretty good today. You know, we just had an amazing show on Sunday, a very special show. We don't normally do Sunday shows. This is a throwback because I told you I'd start doing this more on the show. But I do have co-hosts with me today, as I always do. And you can hear their voices in your head. They come to you. They understand. And they are very crucial in the process of having a GameByte episode. And you know what? We're going to get to them right now. Let's change things up, right? I always throw to that guy first. You know, we're going to change things up today, right? We're going to go to Quit Stalling's resident tavern keeper, or innkeeper, as some may say. Former child star, welcoming you into his inn. It's the Fury Bot himself, Mick DeGuzman. How you doing, Mick?
Hi.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
All right.
I guess. Hey, everybody in chat.
It's gonna go.
It's gonna be a great show.
It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. And with me and Mick today, we have the former Jack Black of video games. He was recently dethroned from that name. He was also known as the Maelstrom of anger and hatred. We change it up from time to time, and you know what? He's looking for a new nickname. It's D's Nuts.
Okay, the D's nuts counter is on 1. So let's get the nuts count, the nut counter. Let's get the nut counter started. Oh my god! Wait!
I'm
guys.
making one right now. I don't know about
guys,
you.
Okay, guys, I have to tell you this, right? So the night that we had that show, I went to sleep. And I had the craziest freaking dream. I still remember it. And it was about nut cracking. And I'm talking about. Dude, I am not shitting you guys. It was not about nuts. It was about like nuts.
Wait, what?
I said like I don't know. I had a dream like someone had their pliers to my groin.
No!
Like they were threatening me. Like they already clipped
Were
the
they
nuts.
torturing you?
Yeah, I don't know why. That's all I can remember. That I was getting like, tortured by having them pliers like locked on to my nuts. And the only thing I can think in my head, man, if I don't give in, they're gonna pop. They're gonna pop.
No! Stop!
And then like when I woke up, okay, and then I woke up. Okay, then I think, why the hell would I have that dream? Like, why of all things? So now I was eating breakfast. All right, we had a show. I just remembered that the show the night before was you're talking about these nuts and like nut cracking and all that. So, damn, son.
We're at 2 for this episode.
Yeah, we also went 4 minutes.
Counting.
We went less than 4 minutes before getting an NSFW tag on this episode. Rated M for mature.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to GameByte, your weekly podcast for a lighthearted take on gaming news and apparently popping of sacks. Oh my word. Yeah. That's a fresh one. That's a fresh one. Woo! Coming off the hottest episode. I think this is one of our best episodes ever. Definitely top 3 for me, if not top 1. Just because I don't want to overthrow any possible really good episodes that we used to have. Like that was a really good episode with this on Sunday, which again is out now on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere you guys can get podcasts. It's also here on Twitch if you click the VOD tab.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's such a good episode. Oh man, let's really upped our game. Made me want to up our game, DZ.
Same. Like, I mean, the show last Sunday was. I think there was a point where you asked me, Jegs, you're like, you'd always like catch me off guard. Jegs, you're awfully quiet there. What do you think? Like, the reason why I was like always like out of words is because the information that this was providing us was so informative, and like it's from a totally different perspective, and like it's like, man, we should I'm glad that we had her on the show. There's so much that everyone who was on the show was able to learn, and that we could learn as well.
Definitely. And according to Thist herself on her podcast Lagging Balls, released on Monday, she said she enjoyed, even though she's required to say that because she's a good person. I choose to believe that she genuinely did enjoy being on the show. And I think we learned a lot from that experience, and I'm looking forward to carrying all that over in the future. But, guys, we start off every show similarly, and why break tradition now? We could talk more about what's been happening in our own lives in a little bit, but, people in the chat, and of course my co-host, I am curious to know, what have you been playing? All right, that is our question. What have you been playing? Since we started off with Mick anyway, we might as well start with him again. Mick, my brother, I know you didn't have internet over the past week.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm sure you managed to squeeze in a little bit of game time, whether it was on your computer or your phone. What have you been playing, Mick?
So, Octopath. I've been playing that a lot on my Switch. The Switch has become my best friend for the past 5 days. That's why I wasn't there in the podcast. I was supposed to be there last Sunday. I'm sorry, guys. But then, I missed out anyway. So it's my how do I say it? I missed out. Yeah, it's fine though. Well, aside from that, I tried out a few games while I was in my internet exile.
Ooh.
So I downloaded a few games in my restaurant because that's the only place I could probably get internet from. One was MU Origin 2. It's like an MMORPG on your phone.
Yes, the classic MU series of our teenagehood, isn't that right?
Teenagehood, yep. The Diablo-esque, the very first of its kind. So yeah, I got to play that a bit. It was okay. I took it out. Oh, because apparently it's very pay to win ish.
Like my god,
you can actually get super far if you spend a lot of money. But then again, you could probably make the same. Probably make the same argument with other free-to-play MMORPGs on your phone, or even on the PC, or even on the console. But this one felt different. The equipment that you get when you spend money is just crazy. So for me, it was really just screw it. I'm gonna delete it. And then
drop.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Something like boss level 100 kind of things.
Oh, that's different. That is different. I only played it for like a good hour. I got super hooked, and then I was like, I was already level 20. I was like, oh, that was pretty fast. And then I was looking at the store. I was like, oh my gosh, I won't be able to get these games. I started researching online, and I figured out, I'm like, okay, I might have to spend. Never mind. So, but I could be wrong though. I could be wrong, but that's just based on reading forums and just hearing the opinions of all my staff who actually play those specific games and used to play MU Origin as well. So yeah, I don't take my word for it though. Aside from that,
staff word for it.
Yeah, staff word. They're the ones who said it. Yeah, but aside from that, well, what have I been playing? Yeah, Monster Hunter World. Yeah, that's another thing. A friend got me back into it because apparently there's this event called the Greatest Jagras. So the Great Jagras is this big salamander that just, it's just really big, and apparently it can eat like the specific animals around the area. And then the thing
it's a really
is,
big jag.
just really big jag. But then the greatest Jagras is basically a huge one that when he eats, he starts spitting out jewels that you need to upgrade your gear. So I got in. I was sold. I wanted to get all those jewels, my man.
Ooh.
So I started playing. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it a bit, and well, let's just say I might be playing it a little bit more just before, trying to prep for Iceborne, of course, because that's probably like the next.
Sorry for
next
what?
Big Iceborne. The expansion.
Iceborne. Okay.
Yeah, Iceborne. It's I think that's the name of the expansion. The next expansion that's coming in a few months. So yeah, prepping all for that. Yeah, that's probably what I've been doing the past few days. What about you, Diego? What have you been playing
over the past week? Actually, the only thing I've been playing was Anthem, the VIP demo. Nothing else. I didn't get to play much. Well, of course, Breath of the Wild, but whatever. It's a lot of my mind is pretty much still just on Anthem, which we'll get to on later. So I don't want to go into much detail about it now because we'll get to that later. Anyways, yeah, but that's it for me. Just Anthem. How about you, Harold? What have you been playing?
So I have been preparing for our weekend event. As some of you might know, we're having a Philippine Overwatch community meetup at Game Over PH this Saturday. The three of us are pretty hyped here on GameByte, and of course, everyone you know from the Quetzalcoatl Overwatch Scrim Nights, and Plus Attack as well. So we're all pretty hyped about that. Excuse me, I've been getting a lot of hydration. I've been getting a lot of hydration to myself, but not much time for video games as I would like. But I continue. DZ and Mick, I continue on my journey, all right, as the best NBA rookie of all time. All right, I got to meet Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh.
I got to meet Shaquille O'Neal. I got to meet Anthony Davis. Haven't met Gordon Hayward yet, DZ. Haven't met Gordon Hayward yet. But I'm hoping I will eventually. But yeah, man, like me and Shaq got to spend a little bit of time together. You know, he was in my virtual living room for some reason. Like, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Shaq is pretty weird in virtual person. Like the dude snuck up to my dude, and he was hiding behind my couch. And the second I sat down, he was like barbecue chicken. I was like ah, ha. But it was fine. It was fine. All he said was gibberish, but I was totally fine with it. Aside from that, I got to play a little bit of Overwatch during the weekend, as you do. And like DZ, I am excited to talk about Anthem today because I got a couple of things to say about Anthem. All right? Got a couple of things to say about it. Aside from the fact that if it does fail, like we talked about last week, I wouldn't be too disappointed. But yeah, you know, it's a brave new world, and of course, I'm trying to squeeze in time to get back into raiding because World of Warcraft just launched a new raid. As me, and This talked about DZ. So I'm pretty excited to join my comrades in battle over at Bacon and Kegs. Convert to raid team. So yeah. I'm pretty sure that's all I've been playing, aside from the fact that I downloaded FIFA and Madden because I did get the EA Origin Premium Access thing. So, yeah, so I'm going to get a couple of extra days of Anthem when it launches, but I'm also going to get to play a little bit of FIFA 19 and Madden 19. So, not too bad of a deal. I'm pretty psyched.
Yep.
I'm pretty psyched.
Yeah.
Francis in the chat knows what I'm talking about. He says, Shaq be Shaqtin'. Dude, okay. He seems way weirder in NBA 2K than he does in any other medium I've ever seen him in. I don't get why. But the dude is like, I don't know if they have a script for him, but he's like extra eccentric, and I don't know why. But let's get to the chat, guys. Francis in the chat says he's been playing Guild Wars 2. We talked about this, me and him in a PM. He's trying to get me into trying out Guild Wars 2 on a stream, and we might. Who knows? We got Quiplash in the weekends now. But Guild Wars 2 looks appealing because they're doing a concept that World of Warcraft took back got into a couple of expansions ago. Mick, you would know this with Mist of Pandaria and the Timeless Isle, where they do like a living world kind of thing.
Yeah,
where,
living world. Where
phasing really affects how the world, how you interact with the world, and vice versa. So I'm tempted to check it out. Francis also says he's been playing Overwatch and waiting for Wargroove in 2 days. Oh, Wargroove. What's Wargroove? I'm out of the loop. What is Wargroove?
I'm gonna research.
Open it up now. Wargroove. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Let me bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's crossplay.
Turn-based.
Yeah, apparently there's crossplay for
Turn-based.
everything except for PS4 with Wargroove. So no surprise there.
Surprise.
Oh my gosh.
no.
Okay, this looks interesting.
that's not so
I'm gonna bring it up real quick. Ah! Why is that not muted? I'm gonna bring it up on the screen real quick. Why is it not full?
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Hey,
This
I
looks
might,
really
I
good.
might actually get it for the Switch. DX, let's get it for the Switch, man. So we can play. Oh wait, I need Nintendo Online. Never mind.
Oh.
I don't have it. I don't
man.
have. Oh, we can play it on the PC though. On
It looks
Steam.
good actually.
Yeah, it does.
Francis in the chat says it's the spiritual successor to Advance Wars. Ooh.
Ooh.
Actually, yeah,
That makes sense.
that's the impression I got on it when I saw the video.
Yeah, it really does make sense. Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so no, that's cool. DZ, you haven't been able to play a little bit more Breath of the Wild. I'm curious.
I'm sorry. Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I've been able to play a bit more of it.
Just
I'm
a
just-
little bit.
I'm just trying to do everything differently, like in terms of which beasts I go first. I went to the Zora Kingdom first, then Goron Mountain. Where was
I
that
thought you were
kingdom?
gonna go straight for
Ganon.
straight for Ganon right away.
If I was a speedrunner, yeah, but it is possible.
I'm doing things a little different this time.
But yeah, that's the way I did before. Like, so now I'm doing the harder ones first, and the
Okay.
easier ones. I mean, it is harder. I mean, the Zora one is the easiest, I think, in terms of difficulty. But I'm doing that last because I know it's easy. But so everything else, I'm pretty much artificially making it harder for myself.
Which is, a good way to replay things. Yeah, if you know
Mm-hmm.
how things go, you might as well switch it up. Good stuff, man.
Agreed.
Good stuff. DZ, I do want to point out,
Yes.
because I mentioned this on the Geekcast last week. I haven't seen you in your sleeveless vest, your sleeveless hoodie in a while, and I'm trying to get it back for you. Let's do it.
Backstreet Boys.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
My Backstreet Boys one. Nah, I mean, like,
do it.
what do you
Let's
want?
bring it
Why
back.
do I have to?
I'll probably buy
You don't
one
have
as
to, but
well.
I'm saying let's bring it back. You just be like,
What?
bah, bah.
What? Why don't we all start wearing it every Wednesday?
Oh my God!
I can get a denim one.
This is it's
Oh.
Bad Boy Wednesday.
Bad boy Wednesday.
It's Backstreet Boy Wednesdays. All right?
Sounds so bad.
DZ, Backstreet's back. All right.
Yeah. Backstreet's bite, GameByte.
Oh my God.
We're good.
I'm down for that. Like once a month maybe.
Once
there
a
are
month.
There are 4
Dude,
Wednesdays
it's
in a month. Fine, why not?
Sleeveless. It's sleeveless Wednesdays.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's do it. I'm down. I'm so down for that.
I'm down.
All right. Well, Human Panda, let us know what you've been playing. I don't think Human Panda let us know, and I miss Human Panda. He was here earlier. Where you at?
Mm-hmm.
Where you at, girlfriend? All right, let's do this. Let's get to the show. Let's get to the news. All right, we've talked. Wait, actually, you know what? Anything else you guys want to bring up before we get to the news? We haven't seen each other. Well, I haven't seen Mick in a week, and DZ, I haven't seen you since Sunday. It felt like eternity.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen. Well, it's been 72 hours
Oh my God, it's too
or
long.
more.
It's so long.
It's been way too long, yo.
Way too
Francis
long,
in
yo.
the chat said
Oh, I know who that is.
These nuts
You know
are
that.
sleeveless.
These nuts are sleeveless.
These nuts are sleeveless.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
the counter is now at 4. Oh wait, no, it's 5. I forgot Herald. My bad.
All right, so should we move on to the news? Nothing
Yeah,
of
let's do it.
significance.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the
I
news, ladies and
want
gentlemen.
to talk about Anthem already, man.
Yeah, I think we should
Ooh.
start with that. We should
All
definitely
right,
start
well,
with
let's do it then.
This week in video games.
Oh yes, and this week in video games is brought to you by the Quit Stalling Geekcast. Yes, now in our new time slot. of Fridays, Philippine Standard Time, 1 p.m. Thursday night, California, 9 p.m. I swear to God, one day I will lock Juancho in his room so we can have a steady streaming schedule. The Quetzal Geekcast, now pushed back 24 hours consistently. All right, guys. All right, we got to talk about the news. All right, we got a little bit of news here today. And you know what? As we do on every show, we got to talk about the latest, hippest, freshest, most delicious, succulent news. And DZ, let's hit things off. What's a good topic to start up with? How about Anthem?
Anthem. Yeah, I'm game for that. Do it.
Right.
You want to go first?
So, no. Let's start off with you and I. Yeah, you and I. We got to take a look at the VIP access. What's it called? The early VIP access testing, the early VIP access beta for Anthem. And
wait, if I may, sorry, I have to point this out. Sorry to interrupt you, Harold. Something that people have to that EA tried to specify the most was that this wasn't a beta. It was a demo. So, wait, did we get cut? No, we didn't.
No.
Okay, I thought we got cut. Sorry. Yeah, it's a demo and it's not a beta. So, supposedly, it should be good. But you never know. But for terms' sake, EA have gone out of their way and already said this is a demo, and it's not in beta. It's not an alpha anymore. So take that, when you discern your decision on this game.
So, if I'm getting this right, DZ. It's past beta. It's a demo means it's past beta. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm even more disappointed now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And here I was thinking it was good news.
So
no.
So DZ, you're telling me that they're that confident with Anthem that they're saying, you know what, it's way past testing. All right, this is just about the server load.
Now here's the other thing also
Go.
as well. Not only it may be a demo, yes, but this is a 6-month-old build.
Oh my.
So that means, according to them, there have been balances and changes in the economy and all that yada yada yada. So again, that's where it. I mean, demos have always been like that. They've always been just a slice of the game, and they've kind of been outdated with what the real thing was. But since it's become a day and age where, when was the last time you played any demo that was, not in the, that wasn't in the era of the betas and the alphas and the closed pre-alpha blah blah early access. Okay, so I think that's why people are kind of saying this. That's why they're a bit scared of this demo. But when me and my brother were discussing, demos are always older, but because it's older, you have to consider that this is the game that might not be what you get on purchase, but at the same time, EA has already said there are still changes being made when this demo was released, which means what? They have almost a month and 2 weeks, like 6 weeks, just to make changes from the demo. And so far, as you said, Harold, I mean, if this is the demo, and they're making changes, it's hard. It's hard to have faith in this.
My gosh, like,
you guys
where do we begin, man? Like, where do we begin? Like,
I'm just gonna mute and I'm gonna listen to you guys this whole time because I really want to know more.
Because that's the thing, right? Yeah. You're right, DZ. We're way past where demos are outdated. You know what I mean? Like, people are way more savvy nowadays when it comes to video games and production time. Like, it's easy to look up how these things work, and we're also more experienced with how betas and testing works and demos and games upon release should be. We've complained nonstop about day one patches. That's something we're way too familiar with at this point. And
Oh my
for
god,
EA
yeah.
for EA to come out and say that this is a 6-month-old build, but they're also confident enough that a 6-month-old build is good enough for a demo.
Yeah.
It really starts us off on the wrong foot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it in the way that that's bad because this is what you gave us, but at the same time, you can look at it as, you know, at least it's okay. They're gonna change stuff 6 months from now. I mean, it's 6 months. Also, maybe they've made changes for 6 months. They've made changes worth 6 months of. So that's why it's 50-50.
Oh man, it's okay. So it's 50-50, but at this, like, for me, okay. So
Yes.
let's dive into the actual experience of the
Yeah.
game.
What do you think personally, Harold, about this? About the
Okay,
game?
so first of all, the sound was not well mixed. I had to, as you could see early on, if you're watching the video feed, I had to turn down and adjust multiple things. Initially from the sound, one of the things I turned off with the graphics was motion blur, because motion blur felt weird.
Oh my god. It was so annoying.
I don't get why. Okay, so even when you turn off motion blur, DZ,
Yeah.
you're with me, right? Even when you turn off motion blur, there's the right amount of motion blur. There's the natural amount of motion blur that you could expect.
Yeah, I mean, like, why don't they just remove it completely? Because the normal one is okay, but then again, you can why not have the option of removing it totally, right?
Yeah. So, once you turn it off, okay, that's fine. They have like natural-ish feeling motion blur, which sort of works for me. The more you play it, the more you get in tune with how movement works. But sensitivity-wise, okay, so we're moving on to the actual gameplay now. Sensitivity-wise, it feels a little off. Whether it be firing from the hip or firing from when you're holding down right-click and you're a little more scoped in, to when you're actually flying out into the world. Flying feels good to some extent. It's a little clunky with this supposedly 6-month-old build. For me, it feels a little clunky, but I'm not a fan of the fact that sensitivity, DZ, is on a percentage, and it's a percentage that's based on tens of percent. You can't you can't fine tune it to 4.1 or whatever the hell we're used to with Overwatch and all these other games. It's based on a percentage, and I'm not a fan of that. Because
here's the thing.
Yeah, go.
I think I know why. Is because I was watching some people, do commentary of their experience as well. Well, for one thing, the UI seems like it was made for console. I'm not saying it. I'm not shitting on console. I'm just saying that's how the UI seems like it was based on, because it's so hard to navigate everything with a mouse. But with a controller, I can dig it. So I think that's why it's like, that's one thing when it comes to UI in general. As for the percentages, yeah, I don't get why it skips by tens. Why not just make it 1 to 10 if that's the case, right?
Oh my word.
The UI is not intuitive. The UI is not the best UI, I'll say.
Yeah, I am definitely in agreement with you, DZ. Francis in the chat says, "Is it mirrors the frame stuttering?" Yeah, the fact that I recorded in 1080 and the fact that I'm playing it while we're streaming and recording it, it's kind of not agreeing with me right now. So I'm sorry, Francis, if it's a little dizzying. Avert your eyes if it's a little too stuttery for you. But yeah, like I don't know. Certain games like DZ, we've used Overwatch as an example already, but other FPSs, they have controller sense, which is separate from mouse sensitivity, and that works fine. I don't get why they couldn't do that for this. Let us fine tune our mouse sensitivity in game while tweaking the DPI on our mice.
On our mices.
You know the funny thing is, I remember that when I was playing the closed one, the one where I couldn't talk about it when I was in that NDA, I could adjust the sensitivity like every 1%. First, if I recall, I have to check my gameplay again, guys. I recorded it, but I could recall it. It was a lot easier to adjust. I have to check it again.
what did they change, man? Like I don't. Maybe it's a bug. Maybe it's a bug. But for a build that's supposed to be the build you show hundreds of millions, not millions, hundreds of thousands of people who are subscribed to your service or who bought the game in advance. Really?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not cool with it, man. Like,
you know what's nice is that we haven't even gone to the bugs yet, which is fine because those are bugs in the game.
Yeah.
That we haven't even gotten to the launch itself of the demo, which is something we cannot blame them for. As much as we'd love to, technically we cannot. But yeah,
and that's what these are. We'll get to that in a second. That's a very good point, DZ. But in terms of the gameplay feel, and we're only on mouse sensitivity and then how the things feel and work. There's a lot of work to do. You know, we're saying work a lot, but there's a lot of work to be done. Especially if they gave us a 6-month-old build, you can't just say, "Oh, it's 6 months old. Don't worry, the release build will be so much better." Because I'm not gonna trust you anymore.
And considering that, you know, EA's not very trustworthy right now.
Yeah.
So it's not. You know, the thing is here. Honestly, I'll be honest. If this was any other developer, fine. But EA knows, and BioWare know what situation they're in. So it's. They literally have a target painted on their back, so you know they can't get away with saying this is just a demo. This is a 6-month-old build. No,
and it's a double-edged sword at the same time. You know, you mentioned if it was a different developer. For me, if this was a different developer, I would have forgotten about this already.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I would have been like, oh, okay, it was good for a good 20 minutes, but I don't think I'll be buying this. Because there's a lot of hype around this, and because I know BioWare is involved, I still have my eyes on it. I still have my ears on it, and I don't think I'd be able to say that about a lesser-known company. I might have just swept this under the rug. And I'm just talking about the game feel. You know, there are times when the camera shakes, when like a grenade goes off next to you or something, and it's dizzying. It's absolutely dizzying.
There's no way to turn that off.
I'm actually not sure, but the fact that I'd want to turn it off, you know, from the get-go.
What settings did you play it on? Graphics wise.
I didn't change it. I played with the default settings because I trusted them.
Okay.
I trusted them to detect my hardware.
Okay. Here. I think I can help you on that one because when I did have that problem when I switched. I tried, of course, again. I like third-person shooters, FPS games. I like games generally with a higher FPS, so I put everything on low. Okay.
Okay.
When I switched it back to Ultra, just to do one fight, just to see how it is in Ultra, that's when I saw the shaking happen. So,
But
the thing is, you're right. There was no specific setting to adjust that. And like I think in other games, they do have that feature that you can remove that. Or you can adjust it.
Yeah.
Because some people just don't want it.
Yeah, it's the shaky cam that we see in movies. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I'm pretty sure you can't speak for the majority, but a lot of people I know don't like shaky cam, and I'm the same way. And I shouldn't have to turn my settings down because FPS, you know, DZ, FPS wasn't my issue. It was just that shakiness, and if I have to turn down my settings in order to remove that, I will. I wasn't aware, but if I could do that, I would. But I'm so disappointed, man. Like, graphically, it's a beautiful world. I'm not a fan of the invisible walls, but in an MMO, you kind of need them, especially in an MMO where you can fly around like this. I'm a little disappointed as well because I'm not sure. It's partially because I'm not sure how much of that is a demo limitation and how much of that is an actual world limitation yet. So that one I can put a pin on. But if we're talking about the game itself now, DZ, the missions that you can play, I guess I could put an S on that. I guess I could make it plural. This is not... I hate that I'm doing this. This should not be the mission you give people who are trying it out for the first time. Give them something hell more exciting than what they gave us. Because, DZ, give me your thoughts on this right after. Because one of the missions I played burned me out because it was mainly a bullet sponge boss that didn't do a good job of conveying the fact that if I don't kill it first, the mobs just keep spawning. And my teammates were kind of on autopilot at the same time. So we just had the mobs auto respawning over and over again. And that's what we were focusing on. And it took us like 20 minutes to get that guy down.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Okay. Well, for me, okay. I actually understand why. I mean, here, I get what you mean. Like, maybe they could have given us a more enticing mission to do. Something more like, oh man, this game is great. But yeah, the mission that they gave us was pretty lackluster. Sure, it's a bullet sponge, but like any other mission they could have given us could have been bullet sponge. But it's more of like, there was no presentation. It was just, collect these things, collect those things, fight this bug monster with 4 huge nutsacks, and that's it.
Nutsacks.
Right? So yeah, I get what you mean. Like, although, but I'll get to the whole bullet sponge thing later. But yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I totally get what you mean with that, Herald.
Because like the manifold, fucking many. See, I cursed, man. I cursed on stream.
Is it the manifold or the manyfold?
No, because he goes, freaking Matthias. Spoiler alert. Do I still have that on soundboard?
Holy spoiler alert!
Hey, let me make it louder.
Holy spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert. All right, in the demo, you talk to this guy named Matthias. Again, zero background on who the heck he is or why you're working with him, which is fine because it's a demo. I don't need that much reason to work with this guy. He talks about how, there are many translations for a manifold. Many? Numerous? Like, it's the most annoying way of saying, okay, when you say manifold, there's a lot of definitions for it, and many, meaning you could be split into many people. Like, what? It's not the best writing. Again, when you have a game that's supposed to satisfy people for a long period of time, you're gonna get these quests that slip through the cracks that aren't really the most engaging. But that's not what you give people who are on a demo. You give them some of the most exciting, fast-paced ones. And I was so frustrated. Not initially, because while I was playing through it, I was like, okay, yeah, fine. It's kind of lame, but we can work through this. But when I figured that they're not gonna give me more than this, I was like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the combat?
The combat is potentially fun, DZ. It's potentially fun. And I say potentially because, like we pointed out earlier, you end up noticing that a lot of these are bullet sponges. And if you present a game in an engaging way, whether some of the mobs have 1-hit health, or interesting mechanics where if you shoot them in the head, they go down quick, and then the rest of their body can take a little bit more hits, or they're weak to rockets or something. Which again, you don't have to give us throughout the whole game. You give it to us in certain missions that you can display in a demo. It felt like an MMO mission. You know what I mean, DZ? Like, it felt like a mission I was supposed to be able to turn my mind off, but because it's an FPS, my natural instincts are don't go autopilot. You're supposed to hit these effers in the face, and you're supposed to be on it the whole time. But it felt like a draggy mission.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys are butchering this game right now.
That's the thing. I'm not even butchering it.
You're just
I'm talking
stating
about
the facts. That's the truth.
Like, it's like these are actually initial light impressions. Like, I've seen people tear into video games on YouTube, and not Anthem specifically, because I didn't want to taint my view on Anthem too much before I got to speak my thoughts on it. But this feels light. You know what I mean, DZ? Like, the fact that we're actually kind of only scratching the surface is what I feel like we're doing. And I want to get your thoughts on this because you got to play this.
Okay, I'll go with the cons first. My cons on this whole thing. Well, actually, no. The thing is here, I can't give. There's not much cons I can give because again, this is only a demo. Because here I like the combat. I honestly did. Oh wait, no, I do have cons. Sorry, I have one. I have actually no wait no I do I actually forget what I said. I have now that I prick my brain a bit. I do have quite a few. But let's go with that first. Cons are if you're doing solo and you're Colossus, like what I did, you will have a hard time against enemies that have shields. Because the Colossus barely has anything that can go against shields. Okay? He only has one skill. And that can take out people with shields. But when it's an enemy that's just flesh and armor, it's easy. So it might. What I'm saying is that unless you have a storm with you, or another class in your party,
it's gonna be difficult.
That's when that's when it'll Unless you do, that's when it's difficult. So it's either that it's unbalanced, or they're gonna make you rely too much on having a diverse party. So that's the problem with it. Let's go to the guns. There was a point where I didn't even use any of my guns anymore. The loadout I had, a flamethrower and a lightning coil. It was a shoulder-mounted ordnance launcher and a flamethrower in my left arm. I just kept comboing the skills, and it was from there. It was fun to do because, man, you guys suck. I am owning you. But eventually, if that's like the if that's the loadout, that's the that wins all my games, all my matches, all the missions. Why am I gonna switch to anything else? So. And I didn't use the guns, so I think there has to be. They have to make the guns in such a way it incentivizes you to actually care about which weapon you use. Sure, the weapons. What I like is that certain weapons will give a percentage change, a statistical change on your skills and stuff like that. But it's not enough. There's no point in actually using your guns to attack. I think, and that's what makes it feel like it's a bullet sponge, is that when you try to use your guns, when you try to use your assault rifle, a shotgun, you have to do it several times before you take the enemy down. You're better off just using your skills to mow down your enemy, which is faster. Okay, so that's the problem. That's where the whole bullet sponge feel is. But at the same time, now here's where the pros come in. People say it may seem like a bullet sponge if you don't know how to work the combos. For me, the whole combo mechanic that they have, I love it. I love how it works, and it feels so satisfying to get it to work. To spray an enemy with acid and then blow it up using a mortar. Wow. And then the combo effect that is the sound effects, the effect that makes the damage you do to an enemy, it feels so satisfying. And when you do that, especially when you pull that off with your teammate, it feels so good. Okay, so when it comes to combat, I honestly, as guns aside, I think it's great. Because of how they're because if they don't want to make it feel bullet spongy, they're gonna have to fix the whole thing with the gun. That's the only thing. But guns aside, it doesn't feel like such a bullet sponge to me. The only time it does is when I'm shooting something with an assault rifle or autocannon or something else like that. The flying, everyone's been asking me about that. Or actually, no, that's everyone's been flying. How does the flying feel? For me, the flying feels great. I've been telling people off camera this during my ND that the flying is superb. And I'm gonna take a quote or paraphrase from Clean Prince Gaming. He's a guy I watched who talked about the game. The first E3 demo we got. Remember when that guy dove off the
Oh yeah. You mean the super scripted one?
Clip? The super scripted cliff part?
Yeah. You can do that. Yeah. It feels really like that. When you transfer from your airborne going into water that's going out of them, it feels just like that.
Actually, wait, so I think this is a prominent question. Did you use a controller or a keyboard and mouse?
I use the keyboard and mouse.
Okay.
Okay. But the thing is, here's the thing. What's nice about the flying and mobility before I say the nice thing, but mobility also plays a huge part in the game. Okay, and what I like is that mobility is not different. The mobility when you're going around the world looking for like going from area to area is not different from how you play in combat. You take that how skilled you are in an open world, and you can take that into combat, and that'll affect how well you do in a game. In when you're in a clash, when you're fighting, when you're in a combat. Okay, when you're in combat. And again, same thing. Quoting something that Clean Prince Gaming did point out is that combat, I'd say he says, is that is pretty much essential in this game. Because if you just stand still hoping that your mech can take down an army, like you're as good as dead. You're gonna get shot down. But you have to move around. You have to use your mech's advantages to its maximum. If you're the heavy, sure, you cannot, you can't zip around pretty fast, but you are pretty much you have
a sponge as well.
Not even. You're not even a sponge.
Wow.
You can die, but you can get a better vantage point. You're pretty much artillery. You're not a tank. People get that misconception about the Colossus. You're not a tank. You're an artillery. So stay back. Use it to your advantage. Okay. So again, and with the other classes, same thing. Use the mobility plays an essential role in combat, which is what's good because the learning curve to mobility is pretty deep. Okay, the learning curve is pretty steep. Is it steep or is it high? Let's put it like this: it's
steep.
It's not. It's pretty steep. Yeah. It's easy. It's not easy to pick up, but once you've mastered it, that's where you have the fun. That's where you're fun. That's where mobility plays a better role in. If you're gonna have an easier hard time in that boss fight, it is essential pretty much. So that's why I say that, the flying, mobility, and everything, that is what I firmly believe that BioWare was able to do right.
Okay,
I see.
What else is there? I mean, the other shitty thing, I guess, was the hub world. that walking, my God, it's like every time you load in the game, you have to walk to your. Oh, here again, this is just a demo, but I just got frustrated that. I get that there wasn't anything to do because they don't want to give us anything else. Fine, but like it seemed like it was such a chore to move from one end to the other.
Can't even run, man.
Yeah,
you can't even run.
It's like, get me to my place. Like, why even make a hub world when you're just walking?
Oh man.
So that for me, that was one gripe. So if they don't fix that in the real build, then that's a problem. That goes for that. But maybe we can shift it to Herald a bit because I think I said too much on the whole combat and mobility part.
Oh no,
Herald.
never too much. Never too much.
Okay.
Never too much.
You want to
man.
head
Very
into
informative. Very
You want to head on to
Thank
the
you for that.
forge?
Okay.
Okay, just for the forge, the forge is basically where you make your mech. Harold, what do you think about the forge?
It's cool. Like I love being able to customize. We're calling them mechs, but our javelins.
Javelins.
Yeah. It's always awesome when you get customization, and especially in a game like this where you fulfill a fantasy that a lot of kids our generation grew up having. It felt almost natural, and it's pretty much expected in a game like this. Aesthetically, I wish there was a little more, but they gave us quite a bit. Especially, I have to admit, for a demo, it wasn't the worst thing. I actually might have spent even more time in it if I didn't get annoyed with the mission, because customization actually takes me the most time in a video game. You get me to play World of Warcraft or any game that allows me to create a character, an MMO, any RPG, and I will probably spend the most time there. Even in a game like NBA 2K where I got to create my own character, it took me over an hour to just get past the character creation menu.
Harold, I sent you something in chat. Show them what I was able to do with my mech.
Oh yeah, the one that It looks like Donatello.
Whoa.
Man. I kind of liked it. Hold on, let me-
Ooh, that's nice. Wow.
No, that's Buzz Lightyear. Come on, guys.
That looks like Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, it does.
Let me
It
bring it
does.
Everybody,
Alright, so yeah, like
That's pretty cool, dude. The Colossus.
so like
dude.
one thing I want to say is that about the Forge. I liked it.
Oh, this
because-
one. I thought you were talking about your thumbnail with
Oh,
your
no,
Facebook post. This is definitely Buzz. Oh, let me.
Yeah.
there it is.
So I like that the customization is. I mean, they promised us. They gave us a good customization feature. Okay. It's nice that you can like they have an infinite color wheel, so it's not like Destiny where you have to you buy shades one time. No, this one
Yeah.
you can use any shade you want, any color you want, and they gave us a lot of cool things as well. As they said, is that you can change the material. You can change the material of the javelin, so it kind of looks like it's dirty, kind of clean or damaged.
How dirty
so
do you want it to look, DZ?
yeah, so they have those small details, which is good. That's attention to because people like doing that. They like making those small tweaks and adjustments. They gave around 7 pieces of the javelin to adjust, right, Harold? Is it
Was it
6?
just 7?
7 or 6?
Okay.
Oh, it was 6. Okay, so that for me, that's a good number. I don't want to like beggars can't be choosers. I don't want to say that there was more, but like if they could put more, like I wanted this feature. I was hoping to get something as like what, like let's say, okay, you get any of the 6 parts. Okay, that's like the main frame, which is like the main head piece, the main shoulder piece, the main leg piece, the main arm piece, and then from there you can go even more specific. You get the main piece of the left arm, you can make that one color, and then you can make the main piece of the right arm another color. So you can. I was hoping that they'd be very specific on those things.
Yeah.
But sadly they don't do that. But I'm not gonna complain because right now I say it's good. You can make a lot of funny colors, funny color schemes. I think even
Yeah. Speaking of funny
watching-
color schemes, like the one on our video feed right now, that's the one I was talking about. The one that kind of reminds you of Donatello, because like it's
actually.
a big green turtle-looking thing with a purple face. Like like, they
I
give
thought it was
you
blue.
Well, I mean, like from this light, it looks a little purple.
Oh, yeah,
but yeah, it is pretty blue, like royal blue. But yeah, like you're right, DZ. Like customization wise, they're ticking the boxes. It's something you could work with, and it's fun enough.
Yeah, and it's nice that they gave us like a bunch of loadouts. I think it's a total of 20 loadouts. So like 5 per javelin, so you can make several different color schemes, several different loadout combinations. But yeah, so that's a lot of. I have a lot of praise for the Forge.
I
Yeah.
see.
And I think it goes without saying because I said some things. Like it was pretty fun. Like how do I put this? I'm kind of just waiting to see where they put the microtransactions, because that is
Did you see what the
Oh.
latest news?
no. What is
they
it?
have news on that. Okay, here. So far, you know what the vinyl color you can change?
Sprays.
Yeah.
It's a spray. Okay, so just I should have brought this up in the show notes earlier. Basically, they released screenshots. There were screenshots released online showing what the microtransactions might look like. Okay, people are mad that one vinyl would cost $20.
God damn it!
But okay, that's the thing. Here's another thing. According to EA or BioWare or whatever, or BioWare, I think it's BioWare said this. Oh my god, I feel so sick even saying it, repeating their words. They said it's not final. It's just a test number. Like, okay, whatever. So
Well, they do have to do that when they're doing specific builds when they're game testing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
fun
they
while it
can just
lasted,
throw some
guys.
hypothetical. They could just throw like hypothetical figures.
I mean, like honestly, like yeah, the thing is,
Oh, so
They only
sorry,
pointed out
Elgene in the chat said vinyls are $8 to $12. armor sets were $20.
Oh, okay, there.
Ooh, armor
still-
sets.
But still,
But
$8 to $12 is still 1/6 of the game.
And the fact that we're paying how much for this game?
It's
$60?
$60.
Around $60.
Why
for the
are we
base.
still paying for? Why are they still making us pay? We thought they learned. We thought there was a chance they learned from the backlash over the past how many years.
Yeah.
Just say, DZ, just you bringing that up makes me not want to get Anthem.
It is very disheartening. Like, because here's the thing. Sure, they say these aren't final. These are just, I guess let's just say dummy numbers. According to them, that's what I heard. That's the thing I've been seeing. I have to. I'll take a quick look at. I know, but the thing, yeah, that's the thing. If they say it's not final, fine. But if they weren't final to begin with, why didn't you say so?
And why are we paying for them? Why are we paying for?
Honestly, I just gotta say, well, when it comes down to like those kinds of expensive microtransactions, I don't really mind. I'd still buy the game because it doesn't really
You're
matter.
the problem.
if I
No,
buy 'em or-
I'm sorry.
No, because that's the truth. Even if I buy it or not, I'm still gonna play the game because I'm still gonna get the full experience of the game and not be gated like what Destiny 2 did and Bungie and Activision did.
That's a good
or
point.
what-
It is just cosmetic.
yeah,
Yeah.
or what Ubisoft did with the Division, where they gave us small expansions in the for one whole year, and it took the year, I think 1 or 2 years before it actually felt like a complete game. So if EA can actually pull off a complete game with just those specific microtransactions that are just basically cosmetic, then props to them. They did better than Ubisoft or anyone before them. That's just the thought.
Still, man, like
Yeah.
unless it can also be earned in game.
Oh,
True.
they can.
Without-
but of course,
They
who
can,
knows how
But
long.
then specific, maybe
yeah.
other ones, better, more
No, but-
rare.
That's the thing, though. You just know they're not gonna let you earn it. Like there are gonna be
That's
certain
true.
things that are exclusive to the store, and
Yeah, maybe a specific colorway. Maybe that's what. I forgot what
yeah.
game that was, but then a specific game before I used to play. I don't know. I think it was Destiny or something. You could get a specific colorway from the Eververse, and then you can actually unlock the other one in a really hard tier raid. So that's how they do it. It's just different colorways, unless if they have like really nice looking, like super custom made by this artist or something like that. Then yeah, I don't know. It's just colorways just for me. Not worth the
Yeah.
$20. Not worth the
I-
$20.
yeah. Go
I
ahead,
mean,
DZ.
I think the biggest disheartening thing is the amount they're charging, honestly. Because
yeah.
Oh yeah.
again,
You
I mean,
know,
I will
it's
abide by
not
what I have
final.
said before. As
Yeah.
long as it doesn't as long as it doesn't buff your character, as long as it's not paid to win, I'm fine with it. As long as it doesn't, make your progression faster, I'm fine with
Yeah.
it. Throw whatever DRM, DLC, microtransactions you want. The thing is,
Yeah.
it's like to think that they'd really charge a third of the game for an armor set. Actually, no, not even. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. It's again. I'm speaking on the idea that these companies know what people are thinking already about like their track record. Again, Harold, I said this earlier. If this was any other company, I wouldn't give a shit. Honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. If it was Assassin's Creed Odyssey making a $20 armor, fine, whatever. Go ahead. I'm not gonna buy it. Mick's probably gonna buy it. That's his money. He can do whatever he wants. with it.
Yeah.
But because for me, like Ubisoft isn't EA level, and because EA's has this is the EA's last chance to do anything right. They're up. It raises a lot of red flags. They're up for so much scrutiny, and that's where the problem really lies. Is that you guys are you're poking the bear.
Yeah.
Poking the bear.
That's pretty much what it is. Like no matter what value it's gonna come out as.
They could just release all this stuff after the game is done.
Yeah. Like they're already testing the builds.
Like,
for
get
what the
people
mon-
invested in the game.
Yeah.
So like EA, give us more freaking armors, man. That's when we'll buy it.
that's. Oh, who did that kind of platform before?
I think was it Warframe?
Aside from Warframe, okay, for just a different genre though, for an FPS game like Rainbow Six Siege, you know, you got invested in the game a year in, they started introducing customizable things like skins or like hats or charms for your gun, which is pretty cool because they introduced that after, after like a year and like 5 expansions already. So that's pretty, That's
I love ElderDjInn's point in the chat.
Yeah.
He said,
I
don't know though. XP boost in a single player game? Pretty shady, Ubisoft.
But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like.
it's just,
Go ahead, Harold.
It's just because it's EA, and we know they were gonna like. I guess it was naive to think they wouldn't pull something like. I mean, I knew they were gonna pull something like this because they're EA. I didn't think it'd be on this scale. Yeah, I thought at the very least they'd be like, all right, let's not give it, let's not have microtransactions at launch. Like I thought they'd play it smart.
It's released a month after.
Yeah, like not
Maybe.
nice. I didn't think they'd completely turn over a new leaf, but I thought they'd at least play it smarter than this. And I mean, obviously not. But I think we're dragging our feet a little bit on Anthem, and we want to get to our points, DZ, and we still have another round of Anthem testing in a couple of days.
In the weekend again?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's open for everyone now.
Nice. I'm gonna play.
If I'm not mistaken, this is
Sunday.
This should be just a stress test for their servers, because at
Server
launch,
stress
DZ,
test.
talking about bugs, we mentioned bugs earlier on, and there were a whole lot of them. One of them was the never-ending loading screen bug, which partially was not their fault, because this is kind of why you have these demo days to stress test servers.
Yeah.
But oh man, I want to be concise when I talk about Anthem, and it's hard to be because of all the emotion I'm feeling and all the subtext, like Star Wars becoming free.
I can forgive them for having this bug on a demo, but if they do this, if it's gonna be like SimCity, or Diablo, no offense to Blizzard, but like, I mean, if it's gonna be anything like that on the launch date, that's when it's bad.
Yeah.
If it's a demo, fine, I don't care.
I think if this happens at launch, one, it wouldn't be that big of a surprise, and two, oh god, I'll be so mad.
Yeah,
I'll be so mad. Based on, okay, let's wrap things up. DZ, based on my VIP demo experience, and my VIP demo experience alone, because I don't want to rate the game until it's out. I guess the closest thing we can come to a rating, for me at least, is I won't be getting this at launch.
Okay.
I'll probably let my sub run out and let people play it a little bit, maybe watch a little bit of it on Twitch. At the very most, I'll give it a shot and test it out a bit, but I'm not gonna get the game or re-up my sub until I've seen more of it.
Well, since you subbed on the 23rd or 24th, what was that?
I subbed on the 27th, I subbed on the 26th, so that means I'll get a little bit of playtime. That's why I mentioned I'll probably dive into it a little bit, but I probably won't I likely won't re-up my sub, or buy the game until a little bit after that.
Yeah,
at the very least.
For me, okay. Again, pretty much what I've been telling everyone who's asked me about how's the game. Number one, is still too early to say. But if you want to give like my direct comments, the combat's fun. I personally like the combat. The flying is amazing. Mobility is amazing. BioWare nailed it. Combat's good. It's not absolutely spectacular because there are problems with it, but it's great. I'm having fun. The only thing that'll make or break this game is the end game. If there's nothing to do after this game, it's gonna be like Destiny.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why right now, I can't tell anyone if it's good or bad.
There you go.
So you have to
Okay.
wait.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good way. I do want to share something with you guys though, just super quick.
Yeah.
Just listening to you guys like this past 1 hour of ranting about, well, not really ranting, but really just voicing out your opinions about this whole demo. Reminds me of when I was in when I played the private, I think the private beta or the open beta of The Division when they first announced it. And basically they just gave me one mission, which was pretty cool because the thing is it was in the Madison Square Garden, so just running around there. And after that, at level 5, that concludes it. You can go in the dark zone, you can start killing people, and there were a lot of us. We were like 100 in the dark zone just running around. And it was only the first 3. And from there I just saw how the bad the build was, how bullet spongy a lot of the characters were. But then, after a while, I after playing that beta, made me realize something. Bullet sponginess is not bad because remember, they're not after realistic components. It's an MMO. If MMOs were realistic, then that would be Escape from Tarkov.
True.
But that's a genre on its own. The history of MMOs, whether it be MMORPGs or FPSs or TPSs, which is in the case of Anthem and Division, they're both third-person shooters. You gotta have that bullet sponginess. I think that Herald is right though in saying that they should introduce unique mechanics, like he'll be a lot weaker if you shoot his back, or like if you shoot his nutsack that's hanging off his arm or something like that.
So far, there's one enemy who has something like that. Not the nutsack.
You just said there was one enemy that had 4 nutsacks.
Oh, that's the boss. That's his weak spot.
That's the boss.
Every bug has a nutsack. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but then
yeah.
that would be cool because they also introduced that in the Division. Like if there's this I forgot the name of that group, but then they have flamethrowers. Now, if you shoot their gas tank in their back, they actually will die. Like after like 5 bullets, and it starts. It just explodes. So that's pretty
enemy,
cool, right?
That's the one in Anthem also. Actually, any enemy that has a flamethrower, any game that has a flamethrower enemy.
I think that's common sense, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, I will be the sacrificial lamb for my group of friends. I will buy this game, and I will buy it on Origin Access Premier.
Just Premier. Don't support EA by buying this game.
Yeah, I will do that. I will play the game. If I love it, I'll buy this full game. But if I don't, I will play Red Alert 2.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
that's what I'm gonna do.
think don't get me wrong, bullet sponginess itself isn't my gripe with it. It's the fact that you feel like it's a bullet sponge.
You feel it. I know there's a difference. Like there are games that are very bullet spongy, but you don't feel it. You're like, oh, I feel so great. Oh yeah, look at all that damage numbers. But then there are just some that are like, oh my god, I just finished how many clips and he's still alive.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's kind of like a really good example. Jill Valentine, when you first meet Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 in the Raccoon Police Station. Yeah, that was super bullet sponge. You will finish all your bullets, even your shotgun shells, just to try to kill him. Yeah.
Also, there's that, right?
Yeah. That's just my.
These are you were saying.
No, don't mind me. That's nothing. Don't worry about that.
I want to get to just 1 or 2 points of ElderDjinn in the chat. He's saying he doesn't exactly agree with the fact that it won't be their fault because of their server, server issues and all of that. He's also saying there's a lot riding on the game. They absolutely need to put their best foot forward. He's agreeing with us. And he's saying basic functionality needs to be perfected. And that's true. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely what we've been saying since the beginning. And if it's not at least functioning well, we're not saying it's got to be pristine, because that takes polish. And, actually it should launch with the polish that that it should. It's see, this is what I'm talking about with video games. We've been so desensitized and used to the fact that they launch not at the best standards, that we're okay with them launching okay. You know, that's got to change, but that's more of a core foundation of the video game industry that we have no right to talking about without a developer, without a good developer in the chat with us, or on the show with us. But you know, I get it. I really get the point.
Okay. ElderDjinn. Yeah, you know, actually, you're right. Nemesis. He said that Nemesis is a poor example of the bullet sponginess, as the intent of the sponginess is to terrify you. You're not supposed to kill him the first time you meet him. Yeah. Point taken. Yeah. Sorry for that.
Very good point. No, that's a really good point.
Very good point.
ElderDjinn.
It's a really good point because
that's why we have ElderDjinn. That's why we have ElderDjinn on the show as our officially first regular host. You know, so
first regular recurring host.
Yeah, ElderDjinn. Looking forward to having you back next month. But that's a great point. Francis, you gotta get on the show, man. You see that fourth box in the chat? Francis in the chat, for those of you listening to the audio only version or the VOD, he says, "Hoo, I'm not a good developer, ? You are, and we need you in that fourth slot. We need you in that fourth slot."
You know, speaking of developer, remember what we said off cam is that we want to talk about the whole thing about all these games moving to the Epic Store.
Oh,
we should have a dev on that show.
Francis, if you're available anytime in the next few weeks, you know, we'd love to have you fill up that fourth slot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Messages.
Yeah.
But yeah, DZ, would you buy this game immediately? What are your thoughts? Like, that's the closest way I can think of rating this, is because we can't really rate it.
No, I'm gonna just do the sub. I'm just gonna do
You're
the
gonna
sub. There's no. Ever since the beginning, I was only gonna sub.
Are you gonna sub from day one, or are you gonna wait a bit?
I'll sub day one because I just got the key from my brother, so I don't think he will be valid for the launch itself. So I'll sub on day one. So for the next month, I'll play the game. I'll give it a shot. And then I'll play Command & Conquer and all the other good games. Other real good games on Origin. Also, one more thing, I Herald, I don't know if you saw the tweet from EA or BioWare, I think. Not sure who said it exactly. From the Anthem Twitter page, is that this weekend there's another demo, right? All the people who have all the VIP players who subbed the previous one, they'll have access to all javelins, not just 2.
Ooh.
So,
not just the Ranger and the Colossus. You're gonna get all 4.
Yeah, you get all 4. So, Harold, which ones did you play? You played the Ranger and
the Colossus as well, but not as much. I got into it, pressed the button, I was like, I'm done. DZ, that mission really took a lot out of me, man. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, the Colossus is a dumb mech until you get the lightning coil and the flamethrower. That's the only time it's fun. But the thing is, that's the only way to have fun with it. Every
Colossus
other
worst javelin. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks.
It sucks. It's the worst. It's the worst.
Colossus is the worst one. What?
At first, but that's the thing. You have have to get the cheap loadout if you want to have fun. Which is why
ElderDjinn in the chat said, I tried Storm myself, and oh my god, it's so much fun. Okay.
That's the other thing. Is the Storm and the Interceptor are so much fun. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Because, again, as I said, the Javelins are unbalanced, so there's no point in using anything else aside from the Storm or the Interceptor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ranger. Like, the Ranger is like your basic, but like the Colossus is like, meh. It's your basic. It's your basic B. So, honestly, you can, like, that's why they have to balance the javelins, because there's honestly there's no point in playing a Ranger.
Yeah. I see. No, maybe it's maybe in the future, maybe towards end game when you start making those builds, maybe that's where the where they truly shine. Like it's like if you
but the thing is, shouldn't you have fun The thing is, you're not having.
Oh yeah,
fun
shouldn't you have fun from the very start? Am
from
I
the
right?
start. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Your builds will always. I mean, the mid maxing will always be there, but there should be fun getting there. It's like it's like Ragnarok. That's why Ragnarok doesn't work anymore. It's because it's not fun grinding to level 99.
Unless if you're an archer or a sniper.
Exactly why that game is
Sniper.
unbalanced. That's why that game
is just unbalanced. Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should move on. Really.
Yeah, we should.
All right.
We
Spend
definitely
the
should.
whole hour on Anthem.
All right, so guys, are you fans of mysteries? Are you fans of mystery solving or mystery machine?
I've actually been wondering what the hell this was about. Honestly, I have no idea.
Well, guys, I don't know if you're familiar with one. I forgot his real name. Mick, do you remember his full name? Oh, there. I don't know if you guys are fans of one Norval Rogers, aka Shaggy. It wasn't
Shaggy.
but he's become a meme, and honestly, this is one of the worst memes I've ever seen. I'm not a fan of the meme itself, and the fact that they're treating Shaggy like All Might or any other super powerful anime character. Really not a fan of. This is probably like usually I'm either on board with and enjoy memes or I pass them by, but this is the first time I was kind of opposed to a meme. But people are having fun with it. I'm not gonna crap all over their parade. But there is a petition out there, ladies and gentlemen, on change.org to make Shaggy Rogers a DLC character in Mortal Kombat 11. We talked about this on the pre-show a little bit, guys, and we want to know the statistic of how often change.org petitions actually work. We want to know if this is actually a valid way of getting something done.
I have a feeling that the more ridiculous that the thing is, the more signatures it actually gets than petitions that will actually change the world, you know? That will actually mean anything.
Well, that I think that's the purpose of the platform or the website, is to actually like do some change in the world, not
actually have some change.
Not putting a meme in a very gory setting.
Yeah.
With fatalities and brutalities and everything.
You know what Shaggy's since you mentioned fatality, I know what Shaggy's fatality is gonna be. You know how in every Scooby Doo episode they unmask the villain. This is gonna be like he's gonna try to unmask them. He rips their face off. Like,
oh man.
Oh, that's so good.
And then the skull. And then the skull will go. And I could have got away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
Yeah, like they'll always be tied up. He'll tie up the enemy. Like,
They'll always
now
tie
to
him
unmask
up.
this villain. Zoinks!
Oh.
It was real, Scoob.
So that's a thing. That's a thing. ElderDjinn in the chat said, "You think Hanna-Barbera would actually allow fatalities on Shaggy?" No. But I also didn't think we'd get Space Ghost Coast to Coast and any of the other Adult Swim stuff going. Is that Hanna-Barbera? Is
I think
Birdman?
Is Space Ghost Hanna-Barbera? I don't know.
Harvey Birdman.
Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
Yeah, it's
Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera property. Oh man.
Even though like this petition's up, Soul Calibur's beaten everyone to the punch. Like everyone has already made their own Shaggies.
Yeah.
In Soul Calibur.
That's true, actually. Who needs a Mortal Kombat DLC? But it's man. Let's move on. Kingdom Hearts 3 is out. No, that's not it. Kingdom Hearts 3 is out. And either of you guys picking it up, because I know Sensei Humor, aka Derek O'Brien of the Quetzalcoatl Geekcast, is actually going to be streaming it in a couple of hours.
Ooh, I am gonna watch his stream.
Yeah, definitely. Check it out, guys. Twitch.tv/Sensei Humor.
I just gotta say I didn't really pick it up, the Kingdom Hearts series. Sorry. So but good for you guys. I mean, everyone who's been waiting for this game for almost a decade, or maybe even more. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it's the best one among all of them.
Till now, there is not a single YouTube channel that's been able to summarize in layman's terms the story of this franchise. The same goes for Metal Gear. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, Resident Evil is pretty. I think they've already done it, but Kingdom Hearts and Metal Gear is the most convoluted things ever.
Yeah.
Like this is the legit Wreck-It Ralph of the Disney universe.
Yeah. That is like before Wreck-It Ralph, there was this guy.
Yeah,
definitely this guy. Oh look, they're actually part of that game. Wow, I didn't even know.
Yeah, for those of you listening to the audio only, Mick is referring to the Pirates of the Caribbean, which I think
Pirates
we tackled
of the
on the
Caribbean,
show.
Big Hero 6. Well, I knew Toy Story was part.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Frozen? Well, I didn't see the trailer, that's why.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're gonna let it go. We're gonna move over. Resident Evil 2, and it's a remake. Well, just the remake is out now as well.
Yeah.
Our friends over at GameByte have been playing that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Since
friends of the show, a lot of them are playing. So Seikachu,
Maria,
everybody. Yeah. GameByte, everybody is just streaming that now. I couldn't play it though. I'm not really into horror games. Would you guys ever pick it up though?
Resident Evil or
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2.
Pick that up?
If I was gonna play with you guys and do it on like a Halloween stream, yes. Otherwise, no.
if I had not already watched everything, yes. Because I love the third-person shooter that Resident Evil 4, the third-person mechanic, and the third-person gameplay that the fourth introduced. I'm glad that they're doing it for this one.
For a lot of the games.
Honestly, guilty pleasure. I love the fifth and sixth one because it's just the sixth one was dumb, but I love the mechanic.
Yeah.
And it's just that I guess same as you, Mick. Horror-wise, it gets the better of me, but I think I can get by this one. The thing is, I've already seen everyone do it, and I know what happens, so there's not much incentive for me to play it again.
Yeah. Actually, it's interesting though when they introduced Resident Evil, the over-the-shoulder camera, which is according to I don't know, some people are saying it's called second person. Because there's third person, which is you see practically half or even the whole body, and then if it's just over the shoulder, it's considered second person. I don't know. I don't know if it's real. Please, Elgene, please fact check me again. But yeah. So people were shocked to see this because they were also used to that whole you enter an area, it's just a locked camera and you can go around in that specific area. And then just yeah, and to see now one of the best ones in the franchise, Resident Evil 2, to actually take this up and just see a really crisp game that's just scarier than ever. Oh, that's great. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, you know what? Resident Evil always has a special place in people's hearts because of the fact that it was one of the only memorable horror games on the original PlayStation. That and Silent Hill are the ones that come to mind almost immediately.
Fatal Frame
as well. But it's one of those properties that you may have never played it, but you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Resident Evil.
Plus the movies are
oh my god, I forgot they had movies.
I mean, they're dumb as hell, but oh my god, I will watch the shit out of this.
Yes. You can't get enough zombies in your life. Oh yeah. Or what's her name? Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich.
Yes. All right. And guys, it would not be an episode of GameByte if we didn't do the Blizz Corner.
Oh, let's break it down.
There we go.
Epic!
Yes! And this portion of GameByte is brought to you by the Philippine Overwatch Community Meetup. Yes! The Philippine Overwatch Community Meetup at Game Over this Saturday, 6 p.m. until upside down question mark? No, until midnight. Check us out. Come in cosplay. Come in some of your best Overwatch looks and get a chance to win 5,000 of the local currency here in the Philippines. Yes, the Philippine Overwatch Community Meetup this February 2, 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. Check it out. Yes. Yes. All right, guys.
That's this weekend.
That's this weekend. This very weekend. This Saturday. This Saturday. All right. Guys, you know, it's been a very good year. It's been a very good year for Overwatch. But sometimes you peak, sometimes you fall. And this is one of those times where Overwatch is probably noticing, you know, people at Blizzard are probably noticing a drop in active user base. It's been a long lull since the Overwatch League season. It's been a couple of years since Overwatch's release, even though it doesn't feel like it. You know?
Yeah.
Feels like only yesterday that I got lore. And probably was a very long time ago before Bastet that we got lore. We still need lore, Michael Chu. And you know what? Because of all of that, Blizzard has knocked down the price of Overwatch by 50%. Yes, you too can own your very own standard edition of Overwatch for just $19.99 USD. Yes, $20. Overwatch has been slashed in half. Not the game itself, but the price. And because of that, the Legendary Edition is also a little cheaper. So if you want a couple of extra skins, you can get yourself the Legendary Edition and start your collection off right. DZ, I don't want to get down too much into this, Mick, as well, because you know, it happens in a game's lifespan. And if we delve too deep into this, you know, Activision might come after us. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Can I say one thing though?
Oh, say as many things as you want and say it into my ear.
Go.
It's honestly not such a big deal that they're slashed their prices off. Primarily because the game has never been $60 in the first place. It was $40.
Yes.
The only reason. So I don't think coming into the game, I don't think Blizzard even banked on making money off sales. I think they really intended the money to come from Overwatch League. So, you know, it's not a bad thing. I mean, sure, it's $50 off, but that's great. It's like 50% off. 1,000 pesos. Not bad. Plus, you know what? You know people are gonna buy a bunch of accounts for Smurfit anyway. So
True.
it's not such a big problem. It's not a problem, and it's a good piece of news, but it's not a problem, which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, it'll just incentivize people to buy more accounts.
Yeah. And you know what?
This first problem worse.
Yeah. And there is a little bit of a topic where there are rumors abound that Overwatch might just go free to play by the end of the year. You know, those are all rumors. Whether how valid they are or not will be determined in the coming weeks and months. We don't want to speculate too heavily. We just want to see things naturally unfold. But if you do want Overwatch news, and you know, if you want very helpful insight, or not even just helpful insight, you know, insightful insight, DZ, very, very deep thoughts, not even deep, you know, just cut to the chase thoughts on Overwatch League. You know, you could check out Sunday's episode of GameByte with this, because she dropped a couple of knowledge bombs on us, and she gave us very valid points to issues. Very, you know.
We should like blast. We should sponsor that message.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I have my first clip up from this episode up. If you guys want to check it out, it's on Facebook or Twitter. The Facebook one is much longer than the Twitter one, because Twitter only limits clips to 2 minutes. But yeah, check it out on Facebook. It's a good 6-minute clip on this talking about the Ellie situation. She talks about how the problem with Overwatch and esports isn't sexism, it's toxicity. And because of toxicity, you get the sexism, and it's a whole thing. Listen to this, because she's way more qualified to talk about it than I ever will be. So
sexism,
check it out.
Bigotry, a lot of things come from saltiness.
Yes, definitely. So check it out. Check out that episode. But aside from that, gentlemen, aside from that, that's an episode. That's an episode. We did it.
That's an episode.
Oh, that's an episode. Yes, we did it, ladies and gentlemen. We tackled another episode of GameByte. And yeah, we tried to keep it as lighthearted as possible. We're still feeling the effects of the seriousness of our episode with this. But yeah, we got a couple of laughs. You know, we shared a couple of smiles. We did a little dance and made a little love. But but you know what, guys? That's it. We're calling it an episode. Mick, the final thoughts on everything we talked about tonight.
One thing I forgot to mention. Oh, Mick, you want to go first?
Nah, go ahead.
Okay, one thing I want to mention.
Diego, go first.
Okay, one thing I want to mention. I forgot to say earlier. Final thoughts on Anthem. Okay, one more thing I mentioned. Despite all that hullabaloo, I was blown away by how beautiful the game looks. Honestly, I played everything on low, but everything still looked good. I mean, it turned out better than Fallout 76. So. But like, wow,
I say that's a victory.
Yeah, but wow, like on low, everything looks great. The lighting, the lighting of the game is very nice. The effects of all of the weapons going off and the explosions, all the plasma stuff and whatnot. I mean, the game is beautiful. I mean, for me, although I will just reminder that for me, graphics doesn't go a long way in my decision of buying a game. But I'll just say that the game is beautiful. Game is beautiful. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Mick, man, thoughts on our topics of the day?
Well, when it comes down to Anthem, there's really not much to say aside from I didn't play it, so I can't say shit. And
what about the other topics we tackled?
What about the other topics? Well, again, I haven't played any of them. Well, except for Overwatch. I can't really say anything.
What about Shaggy, man?
Oh.
Don't you have thoughts on Shaggy?
Oh, I love
Shaggy.
Sorry, I love that. No, I just love that meme, and I love how they got shut down. Like everyone got not really shut down, but the game. I think we didn't mention this a while ago, but the game director of Mortal Kombat 11's like just playfully like going along with it, and then kinda like shut them down on Twitter. So that was pretty funny. But who knows? Maybe if you can get like 300 or 400,000 signatures before the game's released, you might get that DLC, guys. You never know. So keep going. Sign up. It's on change.org. Yeah, just search it.
I love Elgene's message earlier on. What if one of his fatalities was he calls out Scooby and Scooby just tears the F out of his opponent,
just mauls his face away. That could be the X-ray.
Dude, how he summons Scooby is he'll throw a Scooby snack in the air and Scooby leaps over him like Bob does and just like mauls the person in front of him.
Yeah,
so good.
Oh my god,
bites the face off. Oh, that would be cool. That would be a good fatality.
Yeah, like he jumps over, Shaggy just goes.
Hey, Scooby! Oh, here you go. Sorry, that was a bad impression, but then yeah.
That's good. It's good enough. It's good enough. All right, guys. Well, tell the folks at home where they can find you, Mick.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter. That is @TheFuryBot. And you can find me here on GameByte every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time, 5:30 a.m. California time. And of course, you can find me in Game Over PH on Saturday, 6 p.m. onwards, in the Philippine Overwatch. The Philippine Overwatch community meetup. Community meetup. Yeah. Me, Herald Plays, Sorbetes PH, and these nuts.
That's 6, I think. Was that 6 guys?
Yeah, that's 6. Was that what 6? We're like 4 there, or maybe 5. I don't know. But then yeah, catch us there, 6 p.m. Woo! So
all
yeah.
Right. Well, we talked about these nuts. With these nuts, where can they find you outside of GameByte?
Oh my god.
You can find these nuts in. That's 9. Sorry.
Check out these nuts at. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, that's 10.
All right. You guys can check out my usuals, Twitch, the socials, InstaDZ @InstaDZ. That's InstaDeeZee. Again, also, I am a freelance director. Check out my website, www.diegoz.com. How about you, Harold? Take it away.
Well, if you guys want to find me outside of these nuts,
Outside of that's
if you
11.
want to find, if you want to find me outside of GameByte, you can check me out tomorrow. Me and DZ and JM Torres will be doing the Quit Stalling Overwatch Community Scrim Nights. Yes, I got that right. Where we'll be announcing the winner of a box of Lucio. Oh, it's not just the box, but the content inside of it. All right, they'll be winning it tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Yes, check us out tomorrow night here on twitch.tv/quitstalling. Outside of that, on Friday, I'll be doing the Quit Stalling Geekcast with Wancho and Derek. And we'll figure out when we'll do the Kuwita starring Otaku Casta.
Otaku Kasuru.
And of course, you can check us out, all of us out, at the Philippine Overwatch Community Meetup this weekend. Yes, come in cosplay and get a chance to win 5,000 pesos. Whether it's casual cosplay or your high budget quality cosplay, you get a chance to win 5,000 bucks for free just by showing up. And there's gonna be free food, games, prizes, and so much more. Aside from that, GameByte Weekly.
Yeah.
And that's about it. We're gonna wrap things up. Oh no, you know what? Find me at Herald Plays on Twitter, on Instagram. Let me show you guys what it looks like on my Instagram right now. Oh,
Ooh.
yes. I got myself a pair of Air Jordans, and DZ, I'm not looking good financially.
Well, you did buy.
I don't think you can classify me as an adult anymore. I think my
you
card
did-
has been revoked.
Oh, boy. Well, you did buy a capture card, and you bought this as well. So
No regrets. No regrets.
no regrets.
You can find the rest of the Quit Stalling Media Network's content on YouTube, youtube.com/quitstalling, on Twitch, twitch.tv/quitstalling. Follow us on our social media, Quit Stalling Us on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course Instagram at Quit Stalling. You can listen to GameByte and the Quit Stalling Geekcast, and in the future, the Quit Stalling Otaku Casta on Spotify. Right now, it's on Spotify. GameByte's on Spotify. The Geekcast is on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio. Everywhere you can get podcasts, we're there in your ears. Whether you're working out in the gym, whether you're on your long commute to work, or whether you're on the International Space Station, we know you like us up there. Thank you for your service. We'll see you guys next week on GameByte. Same Byte time, same Byte channel. Mick, who will our guests be?
Oh, we have the boys of Game Ako joining us next week. Vincent, JC, and Rob from Game Ako will be joining us next week at 10 p.m. So it's GameByte a little later. So it's like GameByte after hours.
I didn't approve that, but we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, probably. We'll see. We'll see it. We'll see it.
We'll do it. No sweat. We want those guys on the show.
Can we have an after hours like under GameByte?
Maybe once we hit 12 midnight, we can have that. Yeah.
Probably, yes. Probably.
Oh my gosh, we'll make it happen. But yes, guys, same Byte time, same Byte channel next week. But till then, you know what? Get off your butts and quit stalling. We'll see you guys. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.